Hey everyone, my name is Wedge. We're definitely not in the middle of Eldritch Moon preview season yet, but Wizards decided yesterday afternoon was the perfect time to randomly spoil a new legendary werewolf and a ridiculous Eldrazi tutor. So, here I am, talking to you about how ridiculously stupid these cards are. Preview season starts next week officially, but for right now, I hope these previews sate your hunger. Actually kinda crazy. Hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to hit that like button. Helps out a lot. Coax from the Blind Eternities is 3 mana for a sorcery. You may choose an Eldrazi card you own from outside the game or an exile, reveal that card, and put it into your hand. So this is basically an Eldrazi wish? Sure, why not? This is both hilarious and awesome. Let's go step by step. First, I wish it was a tribal sorcery because then it could count double towards casting Emrakul. That would be sick. Second, you get to pick an Eldrazi from your sideboard if you want. That's just value. Getting to go outside of the game to grab a card has always been one of the more broken mechanics in Magic. Always real strong. This card lets you do that. Or grab from exile. Both relevant, both amazing. I love the surface playability of the card. Now let's talk practicality. From outside the game only applies to your sideboard, so you cannot go into your binder, you can't take an Eldrazi from your friend's deck, you can't leap over the counter at your LGS and grab an old school Emrakul, you just can't. Only sideboard, so keep that in mind. Anyways, this is a toolbox card. It's meant to be flexible and grab you whatever you need when you need it. Toolbox cards tend to be more powerful the bigger your card pool is. This one's no different. Thanks to Rise of the Eldrazi all those years ago, Coax actually has legitimate playability in Modern. All Is Dust is an Eldrazi tribal card. This lets you grab that from your sideboard, stick another couple gigantic Eldrazi, and all you have to do is sideboard this into your deck instead of all your extra pieces. Gives you ultimate flexibility when it comes to most of your matches. This is especially important in a format like Modern where sideboard slots are coveted so highly. Something to think about. Now let's talk Standard. This card is the biggest punch in the face to Declaration in Stone. Since you can grab something from exile, it undoes everything the Declaration did. That's just funny. Works the same way with Infinite Obliteration or any other exiling effects you don't particularly enjoy. See what I mean? The card is powerful in and of itself. Looking beyond playability, that flavor text. At Nahiri's call, Emrakul traversed the vast emptiness between the planes and arrived on Innistrad. If you haven't been following the lore up to this point, that sums it up pretty nicely. Nahiri's pissed, she summoned a tentacle monster. Shenanigans. Enjoy the craziness. Also, that art is straight up fantastic. I really do like this card. Our second preview card of the day is Ulrich of the Krallenhorde. 3 of anything, 1 red and 1 green for a 4/4 legendary creature human werewolf. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Ulrich of the Krallenhorde, target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform him into Ulrich Uncontested Alpha, a 6/6 werewolf. Whenever this creature transforms into Ulrich Uncontested Alpha, you may have it fight target non-werewolf creature you don't control. Okay, we need to have a conversation about this. Ulrich is so confusing. This is not the kind of legendary werewolf I was expecting. 5 mana for a 4/4 is not spectacular. Granting +4/+4 on entry to the battlefield or whenever it transforms is kinda neat, but it doesn't have flash, so it isn't a combat trick. It doesn't have haste, so it can't buff itself in attack, and it doesn't have trample, so it can't take advantage of the doubled up power. Of course, you can't always grant it to a werewolf with trample or hope you have a transform neckbreaker, but it's pretty loose, honestly. Looking at his transform side, it gets a lot better. You transform him and it's basically a removal spell. There isn't much that can fight a 6/6 profitably, so at least there's that. As far as Standard is concerned, I'm not sure this is the werewolf that puts the archetype into the competitive range. We needed something akin to Immerwolf or Moonmist. Ulrich is a good card, obviously, but it's very simple. I get that he's the alpha, so he's a warrior, but I mean, he's the alpha of the werewolves. You'd think there'd be something on him that benefits his own tribe, you know? Now, Ulrich isn't all bad at all. Honestly, who knows? Maybe he will be crazy in Standard and we just haven't realized it yet. Maybe +4/+4 on entry to the battlefield or transform is enough. I just can't help but compare him to Huntmaster of the Fells, you know? Anyways, Ulrich does shine somewhere. Commander. This card is hilarious in Commander, so political. Let's say you're in a multiplayer game, there's a creature you don't like. Conspire with the other players to not cast spells and let Ulrich flip, then take out the problem creature. Make enemies like crazy. That's funny. Also, this is the first legendary werewolf, so get started on deck building, unless, you're just going to keep using Rurik Thar or Xenagos. Okay, never mind. Some final notes about Ulrich. The idea of curving Arlenchord into Ulrich does sound nice, really nice, but my reaction to the card's based on current standard meta. We're looking at human decks that close out games so fast Ulrich might not even be able to hit the table. At the same time, you've got Reality Smasher, Avacyn, Sigarda, Goblin Dark Dwellers, all of which come with incredibly powerful abilities, relevant keywords, or both. I can't help but think that if Ulrich just had, Trample or Haste or something, I would be infinitely more excited. That and a tribal ability of some kind, but you get my point. I like Ulrich, I do, I expected something different, that's all. That's going to catch us up on Eldritch Moon preview cards. I don't think we'll be seeing any more until next week, but we have a lot more content coming for you until then. What do you think about Ulrich and Coax? Are these cards you're excited to play with? If you find some cool uses for Ulrich, please let me know. I'd love to be wrong about him. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Eldritch Moon spoiler information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. This video is brought to you in part by TCGplayer.com. We're still a little under a week away from Eldritch Moon spoiler season, but that doesn't mean you can't grab some goodies right now. All Is Dust, one of the best payoff cards for Coax in Modern, is only $7.50. Seems like a great price for such a powerful piece of tech. Grab your Modern Masters 2015 copies now if you need them. If that isn't your speed, how about some Commander goodness? Ulrich may not be Commander material, but he sure as heck will go into your Xenagos God of Revels-led werewolf deck. The red-green Commander is only $6 right now. Crazy cheap considering how much he's played. You should get your copies right now while you can. Enjoy.